So you may have wondered where I've been. I normally record videos daily, but I have been with the team from Midnight Network and Cardano over in New York. And man, have I got some big news for you. Let's get to it. Let's go. So there's no better place to start than Midnight Network to airdrop 24 billion NIGHT tokens across top blockchains. Now, I have been spending, I don't know, about 10 or so days over in New York. We spent time with the Midnight Network team from IOG. Lots to discuss in this video, throughout this video, so stay tuned because there's some big Cardano updates as well as the stuff around Midnight. So Midnight Network is launching a 24 billion token airdrop across 7 or even 8 major chains with a dual token model aimed at reducing transaction cost volatility. So look, there's a real big I guess change that is about to happen. I've talked many times about compliant privacy, and this being a requirement, not a nice to have, a must have for us to get mainstream crypto adoption. Right now, that is adoption without people realizing it, with blockchain doing its thing in the background, where we bring in like banking sector, we bring in healthcare. People might not actually be aware whatsoever that blockchain is beneath the hood, behind the scenes. This is how you get mainstream adoption. You need compliant privacy where you're able to mask and unmask your data, whether that's your healthcare records, whether that's how much money you've got in your bank account, whatever that might be. Now, we as a society do give away a lot of our data, I want to say unknowingly, right? There's many projects that are touting free this, free that, and ultimately it isn't free. They're getting your data whilst you're getting use of a product, for example, or a service, and they're selling that data on. So it's not free. Nothing in this world, in my opinion, is free. And obviously that is just an example, right? We talk about price predictions, price volatility, and we talk about price on these channels. They are just examples. Nothing is guaranteed in the world of crypto. So just want to be clear on that. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Treat this purely as entertainment purposes only. Go away, do your own research before making any investment decisions, and any investment decisions you make are yours alone, and I will not be held liable for any decisions you make that go right or wrong in this crypto space. So look, Cardano Midnight Tokenomics revealed. Obviously, I've come back. I stayed a little bit longer in New York. I'm back. I'm sure you've seen a lot of this stuff all over social media. Charles Hoskinson has unveiled a long-awaited Midnight Tokenomics white paper, introducing 2 key components: the NIGHT token Dust and a privacy-focused utility resource built on Cardano. NIGHT has fixed supply of 24 billion tokens and functions as both a governance asset and a generator of dust, a shielded resource used to power transactions across the Midnight Network. So just to be clear, lots of questions that I've seen is, Dust will be on the Midnight Network, natively on Midnight Network only, and NIGHT will be on the Cardano network itself, right? So although, if you hold Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, you're going to be airdropped these tokens and the snapshot has already been taken, those NIGHT tokens will be on Cardano. So stay tuned to Cheeky Crypto. Join us in the free educational Discord, link in the description of the video, and we'll be doing more updates, tutorials on how to claim your NIGHT tokens. So again, stay tuned because there's so much that we're going to be covering off, and obviously we've got a direct channel into the Midnight network team. So if you have any questions, do let us know in the free educational Discord. So much to cover off, and super excited. This could be the biggest airdrop in crypto history. Could be. We will see whether that actually translates to being accurate. Time will tell. Look, Cardano Def Cross emerges, but it's not what was expected. So I want to talk about this, right? Because the Def Cross, normally indicates that people perhaps aren't so bearish about what they're seeing in the price action, and we can see some pretty sizable moves in the crypto space right now. Matter of fact, I'll bring those up on the screen. The total market cap of crypto globally is up 2.53%. and now sits at $3.39 trillion. Bitcoin was above $110,000 earlier today. Cardano ranked 10th, is at 60.41, was up a whopping 10%, but it's up 8.25% at the time of recording. But look, I think that you'll start to see that the altcoin season is starting. You'll start to see all this nonsense in the crypto space. For me, I've said this many times, and I was very accurate about what could actually impact the stuff that I was saying, like the forecast. And I'll just cover this because we do this a lot, with our community in the Discord. Now, I talked about we're on the upward movement, right? We're going to continue to go up in price appreciation until the Fed look to do their pivot. Now, I've forecast that I believe that this is likely to happen, not guaranteed, but likely to happen in the summer months, where the Fed will pivot, reducing interest rates. Now, this will not have the impact, in my humble opinion, that everybody's anticipating, which is that the bull run starts and we continue up, right? We will continue up until the Fed pivots. We'll see a crash in crypto and stocks, and that will be short-lived, followed by a huge crypto altcoin bull run. And I think we are close to that, right? I've forecast this to happen in the summer, and the peak to be towards the end of this year, beginning of next year, 2026. Look, nothing is guaranteed in crypto. I could be completely wrong, but this is my humble opinion. Obviously take it with a pinch of salt. It's not financial advice. Treat this purely as entertainment and educational purposes only. But look, we're seeing people already say, the bull run has started. I agree to a point. I think we've been in a bull market, although people haven't got a lot of money. We're seeing a lot of people, as I mentioned, probably two and a half years ago now, struggling to keep their lights on, struggling to feed their families with the cost of living, having to sell assets. This is what I've been forecasting, and we get a lot of hate, which is surprising because we've been telling you this has been coming for a number of years now, and the accuracy in which we've called all this stuff out is just something else. Now, what I would say is we are anticipating, ETF, spot ETFs for many altcoins, including Cardano ADA. The SEC have, again, just not declined it, but they have delayed decisions and stuff like that. So there's still a lot more to come when it comes to price appreciation, in my opinion. And if you remember, a few months, maybe possibly 6 months ago, when I was saying we're going to continue up, there will be no interest rate cuts until the summer. And I was saying the only thing that really does impact that would be, war, really. And we've seen that with what has happened between Israel and Iran. So, again, forecasting has been pinpoint. Even when we were calling out risks, we've called out the risks accurately. It's been phenomenal. But obviously, previous predictions and forecasting doesn't guarantee future outcomes. So I want to be quite clear on that. So look, let's move on. We've got Cardano climbs 10% in rally. That is what we've seen in the last 24 or so hours. Coinbase brings wrapped Cardano Litecoin to Base with CBADA and CBLTA. Can't get my words out. CBLTC. The exchange rolled out ERC20 versions of ADA and LTC that are backed one-to-one basis, enabling Cardano and Litecoin holders to tap into Ethereum-style DeFi via its Base network. So again, more adoption, right? Because although Coinbase have set up these additional wrapped tokens, they are backed one-to-one. So again, that's more buying pressure for Cardano ADA. Again, something that probably goes under the radar and a lot of people aren't realizing. And I wanted to cover it off. We've got the SEC hits pause on Grayscale's XRP, Solana, and Cardano ETF conversion. So look, further information to come on this. Again, not too concerned. I think that it just delays the inevitable, and we're going to see some big moves when it comes to crypto later this year, in my opinion. We've got Ethereum and Cardano lead development activity as crypto markets rebound. So again, just talking about Ethereum and Cardano experiencing healthy price rebounds with a 5% and 9% gain respectively. Again, like these assets are going to perform really well, in my opinion. Look, I need to be quite clear. None of this is financial advice. Treat it purely as entertainment and educational purposes only. Always go away, do your own research, never invest more than you're willing to lose, because you do risk losing it all. And obviously all the price predictions and everything that I talk about are just examples, and nothing is guaranteed in crypto. So yeah, I want to be quite clear with everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's video. We've got some really exciting stuff to cover off in the coming days. So stay tuned to Cheeky Crypto. Join us in the free educational Discord, link in the description of the video. And do check out the offers on the offers page down in the description of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated, and I will catch you in the next video.